Hello there, welcome to another video from Max Revs. It's March, the sun is getting out. It was a really rainy start today. The car's filthy. I went on a trip organised by Supercar Driver. That's their kind of Toyota GR Yaris that you can see there. We're here at the Octane collection. They've organised a meet. 3 Carrera GTs, I kid you not. I know I've seen this Carrera GT all over YouTube. The car guys, I think, seen through glass, they've all taken it out. Check the cars they've got here. Some a fantastic collection. Enjoying life and cars to the max. And I hope you can get your cars out as soon as the weather improves. First on this channel, I'm coming to you from our other car. It's a family Honda. I'm just here to collect my daughter. Now, in this video today, what I'd like to touch upon is if you're not a GT4 owner and you own another Cayman 987, 981, whichever Cayman, but not a GT4. This video is to just make you stop and think whether, if you are thinking of getting a GT4, if it's the right car for you. And what I'm trying to touch upon is the ground clearance on a GT4, because went on a trip with Supercar Drivers today. The footage will be there today, and also went to the Octane collection. Oh my God, I saw 3 Carrera GTs in the same place. Like, that's got to be a world record for close to what? It's £1 million car now. I think prices are going through the roof. But what I want to do is kind of discuss and definitely get stuck into the comments on this one. If you've got a choice between a GTS or a GT4, I'm not so sure it's as clear-cut as I thought it was. I was definitely in the GT4 camp. What I'm finding, I've had the car since August last year, so I've had summer, winter, and now spring. It's March, okay? The sun's out right now. Early this morning, it was wet, it was raining, we're going through puddles. UK roads have just seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse year on year. So potholes. I mean, the car's filthy. I mean, I took my car out. It was basically, as you know, I went to Auto Farm, absolutely mint condition. It's pretty mucky. I've got kind of little bits of stones in the front splitter scraped. I probably bottomed out a little bit. And what I'm trying to say here, if you're not a GT4 owner, you've really got to get used to the fact you will scrape that front splitter. You will hit the under tray. And if you're one of those owners, and I think I came from being quite a careful, precious owner. I do really look after my stuff. Getting the, scraping the front splitter, grounding out a little bit on the bottom when there's a bit of a camber. That's not a pleasant feeling. It's not great. I know it's just plastic and it's not actually that expensive to replace, but still, the GT4 is a little bit compromised in terms of its clearance. We're going to measure how many Porsche 987 Caymans clearance we have. 1 1/4 clearance for that on the 4.0 GTS. Let's just try and do that again. Not even one car's clearance. And dare I say, if it had axle lift, it would be a no-brainer. But, you know, some of the roads we're going over, it's pretty harsh, okay? And I know people may say, okay, fine, a GT4 is just a track car. I'd kind of disagree with that a little bit, but I think you need to be very careful which roads you go on. Single track roads, as we were on this morning in the South Downs. Hopefully I've put up some footage on the camera now and my voice is just being overlaid. But single track roads in a GT4, not perfect, you know. Probably would be better off from the GTS. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I love my GT4. I think I'll be a bit more careful which roads I take it on. But if you're in that GTS GT4 camp, I'd definitely say if you're in the UK, the GTS is definitely the more all-round car. You're not missing out that much compared to a GT4. For me, I just love the GT4 because it's special. It looks fantastic. It's got the wing. You get a lot of noise from the cabin. And there is more power. So when the weather's better in the summer, I'll get a lot of use out of that 385 bhp. They always say Porsche are conservative, so it's probably 390, maybe a little bit more than that. But definitely coming out roundabouts, half throttle, back end is slipping away. So even the Cup 2s in March 2020, Cup 2s are still, it's 11, 12 degrees C out there, but there's standing water. Cup 2's not brilliant. I'm definitely going to switch them out for PS4S. Check the footage here at the Octane collection. Everybody's been there and driven the Carrera GT. Let me know in the comments below, what is your current car? That'd be really interesting to know, because obviously I know this is quite a Cayman focused channel. I don't know what you guys own. I know there's some guys with BMWs out there. So if you can, let me know in the comments below, what car are you rocking in right now? And if you could then prefix that with what you're then looking to get into. Better go pick up my daughter now, enjoying life and cars to the max, and until the next video, see ya. You know, I think with my 987, given the ground clearance, very rarely did I bottom out at all. Probably once, I think when I was on a trip with Eddie on a single track road. But if you're going to get a GT4, just be aware that if you're that type of owner that is super precious of just like, you know, not getting gravel in your car, not scraping the front splitter, not grounding out, GT4 is probably not ideal for you. Thankfully, I've gone over that thanks to Eddie when I first bought the GT4. We did a trip in Yorkshire. That kind of christened the car for me. God, these exhausts are loud, as you can just see. We have got a Ferrari that was parked up next to me and my GT4. Just leaving over there. Great collection of cars over here. But yeah, I think the message I kind of want to say to you guys is, if you don't have a GT4 and you have like a 981, 987, something with a bit more ground clearance, the moment you go GT4, you are going to get kind of, it is compromised in terms of clearance. If it had axle lift, I would definitely get axle lift without a doubt. It would just make it so much easier on single track roads and so on. So if you are considering getting a GT4, if you're a precious owner, just be careful that you are most likely going to scrape that chin, and you're going to kind of, most likely, if the camber's quite, you know, undulating, you're going to scrape the underside, and that's just part of ownership. It's just plastic. There's no real damage to the car, and you can always replace the front chin for quite a nominal amount of money. But you know, it's something that as you're on a road trip and the guys are calling out, who's ground it out, and I'm like, I've ground it out. So GTS GT4, it's a tricky one, and I'd say the best way to answer that question, GTS, GT4, they're both great cars. If you're quite precious about scraping that front splitter, accessing kind of like car parks and so on, GTS could be the way for you. But you know, enjoying life and cars to the max. Whatever Cayman you have, enjoy it to the max.